bullish and you're looking for a buy trade, well, that needs to hit a low price and start increasing as a bid, right? So if it drops down to like 10, if it starts to increase to 12 or 13 or 14 or 20 or 50 or 100 or 200, you can see that change starting to add to the quality of your buying outcomes, isn't it? But obviously, if it stays heavy stacked on the sell side, you know that you're just waiting for the trade to change. You're waiting for the trade to change around a little bit. It should always be in the same direction. It should start improving on your side of the deal. Now, obviously, the challenge for the buyers at the moment is actually that credit spread that we talked about. The credit spread is very, very bearish at the moment, which is making life very, very difficult for the prem buyers to be able to absorb this current selling. And you can see they're not even attempting to absorb the selling. You can see they're pulling liquidity at the moment. And that's obviously making life a little bit harder. If you're trying to buy that discount on the prem just now, it's making life very, very difficult. So you just are mindful of it, right? That's all you do. You're mindful of it. You don't overcommit to the sell. You don't try and get the buy trade on, sorry. You don't try and get the buy trade until you start seeing a bit of an improvement in this. In other words, you need 700 to come out. You need this to drop down to 4s and 3s and 2s if you're going to rotate this into a buy trade. And it doesn't matter what the discount is. If there's still an awful lot of people stacking on the offer, the price will still be going down. It's as simple as that, right? So you can obviously start to see the offer change. You obviously had a big flip in the offer there. I did buy it. I started to buy some 2.5. I tried to buy some 2.5. I bought some 3s. And I've managed to take the price up to 5.5, now trading 6s. And I'm going to bag some monies. Thank you very much. I'm going to bag some monies. We got filled. We got filled. We got filled. And I've managed to make some nice money on that rotation. Now, there was a macro rotation on this. There was a very, very short-term rotation. But this order flow was one of the biggest determining factors for me starting to cross into this as a buy trade. So when that book started to work in my favor and I started to see that change taking place, it was time for me to take advantage. In other words, I was happy to then cross the spreads for a couple of ticks, get the trade done, and get the safe stuff done. Make the easy trade, the easy outcome. And obviously, all you have to now do is see if it goes up, see if it goes down, see if it scratches, see if it makes a swing. And you're obviously in a very safe trade outcome. Pretty obvious. It's only obvious if you're obviously looking for it, isn't it? It only becomes obvious if you just make sure you don't lose sight of these types of elements. It's not obvious unless you're actually doing it, right? There's a lot of tools you can bring to help you. And the idea is that as you bring tools, they've got to have a reason to exist on your screens. You know, if you don't have a reason to have that tool, what is it wasting your time looking at it for? So there was a trade I ended up taking. You can see how obvious and how easy the trade was. I wasn't a buyer on the way down. I waited for that to happen. I'm obviously watching the big discount on the S&P. I was watching the big discount on the Prem. I was watching, especially in this candle here, I was watching the tick going up strongly. And I was obviously still seeing a very heavy sell side imbalance. And it was on this candle here. Well, you can see the tick dropped hard, but still divergent on a small short-term basis. And we started to see a small credit spread improvement here with the spreads narrowing. And I like the idea of maybe trying to take advantage of a discount on the Prem. I like the idea of buying into this, but I couldn't buy it on the way down. I waited for the price to start rotating in terms of the press. I then crossed the spreads, managed to get a buy on, and obviously we've managed to make some nice money from that rotation. Yeah. So again, you're starting to build out the idea that you can add to the process by adding things like order flow, by adding the stack on the bid, by adding the stack pulling away from the offers, by adding the underlying storylines. Things start to become a little bit clearer. And if it's still got a discount, like this blue candle here, you can still keep going. If you're happy with the value, which was improving at the time, you can still keep adding more. And obviously, if you added more, you've now got this big upside pop, and you're making even more money on that rotation. Perfectly good trade. Perfectly good trade.